In this section here, I'm going to be doing more of a bunch case study. Again, it's going to be similar to the last section, but again, now we're going to compare. This is going to be from both games from the same tournament, so it's going to be Pavan versus Strafing in this game, and then I'm going to show me versus Clef. So again, Strafing is one of the best players in the world, and he actually does have a really good user on defense, and he is known to be a defensive player. But again, kind of the downside of Strafing's philosophy is that again, Strafing is not big on hybrid coverage at all. Again, Strafing is more of he's going to mix up his coverages a lot, but he's going to be mixing up a lot of base coverages, a lot of stock coverages, and he's going to really rely on his user and pressure to make a play. So again, kind of the flaw of his philosophy is going to kind of come out in this game. So again, when you're playing versus a high level bunch, or you're playing versus someone that's just giving you trouble on offense in general, again, sometimes we have to kind of think outside the box and start to utilize hybrid coverage. Because again, the reason being is there's always going to be these routes that can get in between your zones, and this can be like 20, 30 yards down the field even. So again, here, you're going to take a look at this game. Again, you're going to see Strafing and basically stock cover too. And again, he is going to get a sack on this play. He was fortunately able to get pressure, but his DN just ran in free on this play. But look at the coverage down the field. See, Strafing is going to run into a problem early in this game, and it's going to get exposed later in the game. So kind of watch down the field here. So RB is going to be on a corner route, and then B is going to be on a post over the middle of the field. And Strafing's user is going to be under the dilemma because these are both routes that got to be user guarded. So look at that corner route down the field. Again, that corner route's going to be open for 30 yards. That post route is also going to be open over the middle of the field with a pass lead up. And again, since Strafing is never going to really utilize, man ups, again, he's going to be heavily reliant on his user to user guard two routes that really have to be, either manned up, or they really have to be double teamed. You got to use bracket coverage versus these routes. Again, they're going to be really effective versus base coverages. And as you can see, Pavan has basically two routes running wide open, but Strafing's DN is luckily able to loop in. So again, let's skip ahead here to 11:05. And again, it's only gonna get worse as the game goes on. Again, Strafing was able to get pressure there, but again here, let's look again at this 3rd and 16. So again, Strafing is going to use zone coverage only. Again, he's not going to man anyone up. And again, the issue with this is this route in the slot. Again, we got to be asking ourselves, okay, when we're playing bunch, who is the main target here? Which receiver is running the best routes? Again, what are the routes that are really going to kill us? And in every single year in Madden, bunch has the best corner routes in the game, and that best corner route is usually coming from the slot. Even in Madden 21, when I was showing you guys Z-Spawn the tutorials, again, it was the same thing in Madden 19. The corner route on RB was super juiced. It got underneath deep blues, and it got over the top of clouds and yellows. So it was a huge problem. It was really a route that needed to be user guarded unless you man it up. So again, here we're going to see Strafing's going to be in zone only. So again, he's going to run into a dilemma. This RB, again, is going to beat zone only. Again, it's going to get, as I said, it's going to get over the flats as you see here, and it's going to get underneath these deep blues. So again, Strafing's user is basically going to be in a huge dilemma. Again, he's either going to give up, the first run to the deep in route, or the first down to the corner route, and that's because again he's not utilizing hybrid coverage. He's not manning up this RB route, which is really really effective. If it's not user guarded or manned up. So again, it's going to beat all types of zones. So again, Strafing's going to run into this problem consistently where he's going to have to ask himself, do I really want to run all the way to the silent to guard a corner route? And again, he's going to put himself in that situation time and time again. So skip just a little bit ahead here. Again, it was similar to the Skimmo game where Skimmo's really reliant on his user and pressure to kind of, guard those deep corner routes. And again, Strafing's going to have a similar philosophy to Skimmo, where again he's more looking to, run to the outside, user guard those silence. And again, when you feel like you have to take your user and go and user guard the silence, then again the middle is going to be wide open. And the thing with bunch is it has really good corner routes as well as posts over the middle of the field, especially with this hot route master. Again, as you can see here, Strafing is going to be in a stock cover 2. And again, RB is going to be in a really good crosser here. The crosser is going to be wide open for a touchdown. Again, Strafen's not going to really man him up this game. And again, this fade route, again, similar to what we said in the tutorial. And this is kind of what I mean, guys. When these concepts apply man to man, there's similar issues on every man, whereas on this man, it's clear out. We're in motion out B and a beats cover 2. And again, this is clear out again, except on the short side. And again, it's going to be cover 2 deep to the outside. So it's something that really needs to be manned up. So as you're going to see in this game, what Strafen really needs to be doing is man pressing that slot receiver. So then he doesn't feel like he has to run with that guy over and over and over. And at least mix it up. You don't have to do it every time. Just mix in man pressing that guy so they feel kind of reluctant to run, a corner out or crosser. Strafen is really welcoming Pavon or inviting Pavon into running that corner out or crosser every time because again, Strafen's has to run and user it every time since he's not manning it up. Whereas if Strafen even just manned it up maybe a few times, again, maybe Pavon will kind of shy away from calling that corner out or crosser. So again, Strafen really needs to be either manning up B or the slot in this game. Again, I'll show one more example from this game. Skip ahead to 16:30. Again, if you guys want to follow along with me too and even pull the game up, obviously these games are on YouTube. So again, Strafen is going to run into the same issue over and over. Again, there's 2 routes in the field that got to be user guard. Again, as we talked about, RB in the slot. He's going to be running really effective corner routes and crossing routes. So again, Strafen really just has to kind of pick his poison here time and time again with his user. Again, both of these routes really need to be user guarded if you're running stock coverages. So again, he really needs to man up one of these guys. Again, he just keeps running to this issue of, he's just picking his poison and then the other one's wide open. Again, this ends up getting swatted down, but again, this corner route is wide open once again. Now, and also that crossing route, as you saw, was going to be wide open over the middle of the field as well. Again, it looked like it was even going to be open for a touchdown over the middle of the field. So again, it's just too much stress on Strafen's user here. All right, so now let's move over to my game versus Clef. So in my game versus Clef, I have a completely opposite philosophy of Strafen. Again, I'm going to be utilizing a lot of hybrid coverage. I know how effective the corner routes and post routes are in bunch. So I'm not going to try to run to the silence myself to guard him every single time. Sometimes here and there I will do that. But again, I don't want to have to do that every single play. And as you see in this game, I'm going to be manning up and cross-manning a lot of people. So mainly what I did in this game was I took one of my linebackers. I have safeties on linebacker. I took one of them. I manned him up on the RB because, again, RB is super dangerous because of that deep corner route that gets over the top of cover 2 and gets underneath cover 3. So, again, I'm going to have him manned up with Jamal Adams, who has like 90-plus man coverage. And sometimes I'm going to cross-man Cooper as well with my strong safety here, or the safety on the side of the running back. And the reason for that is because if I'm running cover 2 on the bunch side, and then I got to ask myself, okay, what can kill me in cover 2 on the bunch side? And that's going to be these motion out fades. It's going to be the motion out wheel route. And a lot of people will utilize motion out drags on B. So again, I'm going to have RB and B manned up majority of the game. Or I'm going to mix it in. Again, you don't want to do it every time because then it just becomes too predictable. And then it kind of almost ruins the point of, hybrid coverage. But again, I'm just going to mix it in. So here I'm going to, again, blitz on this first play of the game. Again, he's going to show me that he's willing to check down underneath to his tight end. Again, I will also mix in manning up the tight end as well because, again, the tight end can go on, good crossing routes, good corner routes as well. So, again, here he's going to go right back to us. And I believe I man up. I'm going to man up the tight end here. Or no, I hard flat that side. So basically, I double flatted that side here because, again, last time he had that corner route and, underneath flat combination. So, again, here I didn't utilize hybrid coverage, but again, I'm going to start. I will start utilizing it, as the game, progresses. I'm not going to do it every time because then, again, Clef is a smart player. He'll pick up onto that. So again, I'm gonna mix it in. So again, here on the wide side, this is when I'm really worried about this corner out by RB. So I'm probably gonna man up if I don't blitz here. I'm gonna man up RB. So yeah, as you can see here, so my linebacker in the middle, he's gonna be man up onto RB. I'm gonna be cross manning B. So look at this now. Again, I still have to run to the sideline for a little bit, because again, my this corner route is going to get over the top of clouds and underneath these deep blues, and again, I still have to run to it for a little bit. But the best part about having this man up is I don't have to stay with it now. So again, I just kind of have to bluff lurk it, guard it for a little bit, and then come underneath. Because again, if he wants to throw this late, that's perfectly fine because the man is trailing it. And as you can see here too, uh, I also have B manned up because again he's going to be on those post routes, those crossing routes, those underneath drags, you know, those motion out wheel routes. So again, B and RB are going to be taken care of, and we still kind of enjoy the benefits of, you know, a cover two zone as well because again we're going to have those flats on the outside to kind of help bracket sometimes the corner route as long as it's not running deep. And as you can see, we're going to have that flat underneath to help guard this tight end flat. Again, this is me, you know, game planning beforehand and knowing how effective these corner routes are in bunch, how effective these, you know, these motion out posts are, uh, the motion out fade. So again, I'm well aware of that, and I know that, man, these top players, they're so used to playing online versus these stock coverages, these stock cover two, these stock cover three, stock cover four. Again, you got to be unique and think outside the box sometimes. Again, here I'm going to mix up the blitz. Again, I'm not going to run hybrid coverage every single play because again, a smart player is going to catch on catch on to what I'm doing eventually. So again, I'm going to give Clef that credit, and again, I'm going to mix it up on him a little bit. You want to keep him honest. A lot of times when you're running, getting really fancy on defense, you know, people start to send out their running back, and I don't want Clef to feel like he can send out his running back. So I want to keep him honest with the pressure here. And again, I'm going to do that on this play. And also another thing on this play, this isn't a maximizing the user defender course, but again, I'll give you guys a little preview. So in this Madden, I know that a lot of people like the quick throw, that outside post. And so with my user at the snap, I'm really trying to diagnose the play so I know where to go. And again, as soon as I see Pat Sale at the snap of the ball, I recognize, boom, Pat Sale. Again, I can notice it in my peripheral vision. I notice it's a motion out drag. It's a motion. It's a post on the lone side. And again, this screams Pat Sale. Again, I read this in like half a second, and then as soon as I read this, I'm running exactly to the pulse because again, a lot of bunch players like to quick throw this off the cut, and again, that's what happened here. I was running it directly to that the whole time. And we'll fast forward here to his next drive on offense. Again, he got, you know, pretty fortunate to stop me on this drive. We got stopped in the red zone. I think I ended up fumbling down here. So again, back on offense for Clough. Again, here, that really should have been a safety. But again, I was blitzing here because again, he's so close to the goal line, so I want to force that. I really want to force that safety there. Again, here, I think I'm gonna, yeah, I blitz here again. So what I'm trying to do here with my user is, again, I'm not gonna run hybrid every play, especially now in this situation where he's close to the goal line. I want to, you know, get pressure on him. Well, actually, yeah, I did. I blitzed out of, I blitzed 6 here, but I actually did crossman my safety onto B. And the reason I did that is because, again, as you saw in that strafing game, you saw how when strafing ran cover 2, go back and watch that if you need to, but when Pavan was on the short side, you know, Pavan had that cover 2 bomb. And again, I'm running cover 2 on the bunch side, and I know that when Clef is on the short side, I know I am vulnerable to getting bombed here on the deep right half. So again, what do I do here is I identify, okay, what is the receiver that can burn me deep here? That's Tyreek Hill on that little fade that Pavan threw and pass that out. So I'm gonna crossman that receiver. So again, he's not a threat to beat me deep. Again, then really all I have to do is worry about the receiver coming over the middle of the field and hope my pressure can get in time. But again, he was able to get the flat off in time. Good play here by him. Good by him to stay patient. Again, here on this next play, when Clef is in wide side bunch, I'm really worried about this corner route to the wide side, especially in the slot, because again, that can really pop me for a big gain. So again, you're gonna see RB, man up a good bit of the game, because again, the corner routes and post routes are deadly. I don't want to go and user guard them every time. I know that they're gonna beat my basic stock coverages, so again, he's gonna be manned up a lot of the game. So again, what I do here is I actually cross-man. I didn't man him up this time. So again, I'm gonna mix it up a lot during the game. So I was fine. I'm fine running with that deep corner route sometimes, as long as I have his other complementary routes accounted for. So again here, if I needed to run, if he had called the deep corner route play, I would have been fine here because again I'm also cross manning his outside receiver who's gonna be on that hitch and drag a lot, and guarding the drag and hitch combo is the drag and post combo is really, really difficult. So that's why you're going to see me crossman this outside receiver a lot, so I can run with the post myself. Also, if Clef would have ran the deep corner route play here with the backside in route, I would have been fine because I had hook zones underneath to guard that. You see, I'm going to have a spy. That guy is in a hook zone as well, or he's in a 3-rec. So I would have been able to run with the deep corner myself, and his underneath would have been covered. And here in this play, Clef flips his bunch again. When Clef is again on the short side, I'm worried about this outside fade. So last time I cross-manned it because again I don't want him to. I don't want him to feel that he's welcome to be throwing that fade again. I'm not going to do it again though because again last time I had him cross-man, so I didn't think he would go back to that. And also I was blitzing everybody here, so he wouldn't have had time to do that play anyway. So again, I blitzed the house here. Again, I'm always going to keep him honest with pressure and coverage. Again, you don't want him to feel comfortable sending 5 out. Again, it's difficult to dot. It's difficult to dot out of 5 out consistently versus the blitz. It's really easy to make mistakes. So again, just show them that you had the threat of that pressure. So again, here Clef is going to be on the short side. And again, you're going to see me cross him in this outside receiver, so he can't bomb me on that fade. So again, as you saw here, again, people love this outside fade versus cover 2 here. Again, that's why I'm cross-manning this receiver. Again, but he does pop me underneath with this little hitch and post route combination though. So again, I might need to start manning up a couple people here, either manning up cross-manning the post or manning up that hitch. And usually, again, I'm going to man up the RB receiver because again, there's really no point for me to cross-man that lone side or man up that lone side receiver because he's going to win versus man coverage straight up anyways. It's really difficult to guard the pat sail post route. So again, what I was doing mainly was I was guarding the other routes like the slot receiver, the B receiver, because again, man coverage was much more effective. Man ups were much more effective versus manning up the slot and Cooper than it was to man up the lone side post. Because again, the lone side post will win consistently, and even bracket coverage won't really help it because again, this post route's gonna take a nice cut over the middle of the field. So again, you're gonna see me mainly man up RB and X. And again, there Clef did a good mix up. Again, he caught me with the post and drag while I was blitzing heavy. He hit me with the max pro, so that was a good play call by him. So I'm going to see that Clef is really utilizing the motion out he's really utilizing his slot and X receiver a lot. So eventually in the game, I'm going to start manning up both of them because, again, they were both becoming, threats to my zone coverage. So again, I believe I'm even going to man up the tight end here and man up his slots. Yeah, and I do that. So yeah, I got really adjusty right there. So again, I started off in the cover 2, but I ended up manning up 3 people in this play because, again, he's starting to show me his beaters for my zone coverage. Again, a lot of his routes are getting in between my zones, getting over the top of my flat. So again, I'm going to start, and this is where I start manning up, a couple of people. Even on this play, I man up 3 people. So again, majority of the game when Clef is on the short side, he's been, utilizing this tight end flat. So I manned him up. And again, remember on this short side, we have this. We got to be wary of that outside fade versus cover 2. So I cross-man that receiver. And also I have his slot receiver manned up as well. Because, again, he can kill me on those corner routes. And he's been starting to put him on hitch routes as well. So again, those are all routes that can really, abuse my zone. So I wanted to man them up. So again, I'm basically playing half man and half zone here. So again, here, as you can see, I'm I was getting sick of him getting in between my zones with these drags, these hitches. So again, you're gonna see me start utilizing a lot of hybrid coverage as the game goes on, and he's shown me his zone beaters now. So now I gotta man up his zone beaters with crossman or just a straight up man up. So again, here he's doing a lot of these outside fades, these hitches. And I'm going to man up, again, RB and crossman Xer. And, again, the reason why I'm not just straight up manning up. I'm not just manning up Moss from the same side is because if he motions out Moss on the drag, my man up is going to get cooked. So that's why I'm cross manning Moss here and not just manning him up from the same side. Because, again, if I man up that drag from the same side here, again, he is getting absolutely cooked, especially with this safety at linebacker. So I said, okay, let me just man up RB instead because he's not really going to be on a drag. And those drags are going to kill my man. RB is more going to be on those corner routes and hitches. And, manning up a hitch or a corner route is usually going to be pretty effective versus it, whereas manning up a drag is not going to be effective. But cross-manning drags is usually pretty effective, and as you see, the cross-man, the drag here, did a really good job, and he has no one open on this play. So again, it's basically cover 2 here, but again, I have two of his main routes that were killing my zone manned up. And again, this leads to him making a mistake. He's starting to get frustrated, man. There's not many receivers open. We're taking away his main targets with my man-ups, with the hybrid coverage. Again, the combination of the man and zone is going to give him a lot of trouble in this game. And I'm not going to break down this full game, but if you guys do want to see the full game, it is on YouTube. It is a really good defensive display if you guys are really interested in learning more from this game.